Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to this video lecture series in which we are talking about how we can improve and optimize our neural network. So until in the previous video lecture, we have seen that how does actually the regularization technique works and how regularization is basically enabling us in order to reduce the overfitting from our neural network. So in this video lecture, we are going to basically have a brief intuition about how this regularization technique works in the neural network. So in the previous video lecture, we have seen that basically we have two types of regularization. One was the L1 regularization technique and the other one was the L2. But most commonly, the people working in the field of ML and data science use the L2 regularization because there is not a very much benefit caused in terms of efficiency when we use L1 regularization instead of using the L2 one. So, in this video lecture, let us see the intuition that how this regularization basically works on our neural network. So let us continue and move over to the next slide. So now, I hope these three graphs are very much familiar to you. And what these graphs are showing to us, the left one is showing us that the algorithm is showing high biasness. The middle one is showing to us that this is just the right one, as we are neither having a very high biasness nor we are facing the very high variance. And the right graph is showing us that this is basically the overfitting pattern, and this is the problem of high variance. So let me draw the graph here. So we have been given an algorithm, and for high biasness we know that this classification model would be an underfitting model. So let us draw a graph for this. So this, since this is underfitting, so maybe this is in the form of a straight line. So it is neither able to classify circles nor it is able to classify the crosses. And whenever it is the case of high variance, then it is functioning something like this. So basically it is having very much curved kind of a classifier, and so we call this as the problem of high variance, and this is the only problem because of which we need to use the regularization technique. And the center one is the optimal case where we have an optimal value of biasness and variance, that is the intermediate value that we need to achieve. And so this is the classifier for this. So what we need to have is, we do not need to have overfitting in our training data set, because what will happen in future, that when we apply the same algorithm on the testing data set, then it will happen that it will not perform well for the testing data set. So that is why having an optimal level of biasness and variance is very important to us. And since there is a trade-off between biasness and variance, so we have to keep in mind these two errors while designing our learning algorithms for any problem. So here we have this neural network. This neural network is not a very deep neural network, although, but through this neural network, we are going to have an intuition of how does regularization basically works. So we have our cost function as j of w comma b, and that is equal to 1 upon m summation of I equal to 1 to m. Since we have a total of m number of training example, so this summation goes from I equals to 1 and it goes up to m training examples. And here we define a loss function, as basically a difference of y hat I and y of I. Okay. And since we are having L2 regularization to this cost function, so what this equation will become, we'll have to add this term lambda upon 2m, and this will go from summation of small l equal to 1 to capital L. So for the first layer, this is small l equals to 1, and the capital L denotes the total number of layers that we have in our neural network. And so for L2 or Frobenius regularization, Frobenius norm, this would be the equation as norm of W F whole square. Okay, so we have already seen in the previous video lecture that this lambda is a constant, and this constant lambda is called as the regularization parameter. And this lambda is a very important parameter to us in terms of regularizing our neural network model. Why? Because I've already told you that you can count this lambda as a hyperparameter. Now, how this lambda parameter will help us? So, this lambda parameter will help us in ways that, suppose you are training a learning algorithm, then I would suggest you that you should take the value of this parameter lambda to be very small in the beginning, so that it does not cause a very deep underfitting to the neural network. Because if you will take the parameter lambda to be of a very large value, then it will jump in a very sudden way from problem causing high variance to the problem where we have high biasness. So it is often suggested that you take the value of the parameter lambda to be small in the beginning, and then you increase the value of lambda very small values. So in this way, you can see that the accuracy of your model would gradually increase, and it will then go up to a peak value. Then as soon as you will obtain a peak value of your model, then you should stop there. Then you should not change the value of lambda over time. So taking the value of lambda is very important, and one should be very judicious in initializing the value of the parameter lambda. So now we have understood whatever we have seen in this slide. Now, how does this parameter lambda would help in regularizing the neural network model? So what will happen is, as you will increase the value of this lambda, then what will happen is the weights, whatever we have taken the weights, this will cause the shedding of weights. Why? Basically, in the previous video lecture, we have seen that this parameter lambda is causing the decay of the parameter w. So this parameter w would gradually tend to zero as you would increase the value of this parameter lambda. Okay, so this is basically the reason as why regularization is basically causing to reduce the overfitting effect in the algorithm. And through this network architecture, we can see that as gradually as you would increase the value of this parameter lambda, then what will happen is shedding of weights will occur, and some of the nodes would be then switched off. So for each layer of this neural network, some of the nodes would be switched off. Why? Because the weights corresponding to these nodes would be now tending to zero because of the large parameter value lambda. So what will happen is, since now we are having a deep neural network having many number of layers, but now you will see that each layer is tending to be like a linear network. So what will happen is all these crosses represents that these nodes are not now working, okay, and we have only these individual nodes in each layer. So what are the working units for this network is these are the only units that are working in this network. So this is now basically working as a linear network. So in this way, the regularization is causing a reduction in the overfitting of the neural network. So I hope this much is clear to you. Now, again in the next slide, we'll see that how this regularization is basically causing a reduction in the overfitting. So let us move to the next slide. Now, in this slide, we are going to see that there is another way in which I can explain you that how does regularization basically reduces the overfitting problem. So I'll draw a graph here, and this graph will be of our activation function. And suppose that I'm using an activation function here, and my activation function is 10h function. So what I can write as on x-axis, I'll be plotting the values of z, okay, and on y-axis, I'll be plotting the value of g of z. So what would be my value of g of z? My g of z would be equal to 10h of z, okay, since we are dealing with the 10h activation function. And now what will happen is the graph of this 10h function comes out to be like this. It comes like this, okay. Here it tends to asymptotic value, and here also it tends to come to an asymptotic value, okay. And what is to be observed here that the graph in this middle region nearby, where it is taking values near to 0, this graph here in this location is somewhat a linear graph, okay. So what will happen is when you are tending to increase the value of regularization parameter lambda, then it is often happening that the value of weights is decreasing, okay. This we have already seen in the previous slide. And now also we have this equation as z of l, that is if I need to find the value of z, then what is the value of z? This value of zl for a particular layer z superscript l comes out to be w superscript l a of l minus 1 plus b of l, okay. So if anybody wants to know that how I have written this equation, then they can refer to the video lecture series in which I have taught about neural networks and deep learning. And there I have briefly explained that how we can obtain this equation for finding the final output. Okay. So for a particular layer, if you need to find the value of z, then this z would be the parameter w for that particular layer, and the output given by the previous layer would now be the input for this present layer. So that is why a previous layer, that is l minus 1, is written here, okay. And then we are adding the bias, that is b of l, for that particular layer, for which you are going to find the value of z. Okay, so now what will happen is since you are increasing the value of lambda, so in the previous slide we have seen that this parameter shedding will happen for the parameter w, And since this parameter W is again used in this equation, so if the parameter W will decrease, then will be a significant decrease in the value of Z as well. So what will happen if you decrease the value of this Z? So since this is applied to the 10H function, then what will happen as this will tend to be in this area. Okay. So it will attain a linear value over there. So what will happen that even if you take a very large neural network that has a very large number of hidden layers, and those hidden layers may have a very large number of nodes, then also the overfitting will not happen, because we are now tending to the linear region of this activation function, and this activation would now tend to perform linearly. Okay, so this would cause regularization to reduce the overfitting problem. Okay, so this is the second way in which we can see that regularization is causing a significant decrease to the overfitting of our neural network. And now, one more thing to notice here is that we are writing the equation of our cost function j of w comma b as 1 upon m summation of I equal to 1 to m. Okay, and this is L of y hat of I minus y of I plus lambda upon 2m summation of small l equal to 1 that goes up to capital M Frobenius norm of w whole square. Okay, so what we need to see here, that if you draw a plot here, and suppose that this plot will, on the y-axis it will depict the cost function j of w comma b, and on the x-axis it will show number of iterations. Okay, so if your graph if your algorithm is performing normally, then what will happen is this graph would see a monotonic decrease in the cost function if you increase the number of iterations. Okay, but what has happened, that since we are facing the problem of overfitting, then this graph will not be decreasing monotonically as it is decreasing now. Okay, so I'll write here. Okay, so this graph is not monotonically decreasing because we are facing the problem of overfitting. And now if I want that this graph should descend monotonically, so I need to have an additional regularization term added to our cost function. So now after adding this term, the regularization term, this graph would again now perform in a normal manner as it was performing without overfitting. Why? Because after performing the normalization, or sorry, after performing the regularization, the overfitting problem has now been removed from our learning algorithm. So I hope this much is clear to you. And this was all about the L2 regularization that we are using in order to remove the problem of overfitting. And now in the next video lecture, we are going to see another kind of regularization technique which people often use while solving their data sets. And this type of regularization is called as the dropout regularization, which we are going to study in the next video lecture. And the dropout regularization is a very recent technique that was developed, I think, in the year of 2013 or 14. So it is a very interesting technique and it works like a magic. And you won't believe it when I'll teach you the dropout regularization, because that is a very surprising technique or a very surprising way in order to reduce the overfitting effect of the neural network algorithm. So the next lecture would be a very interesting one. I hope this lecture was very much informative to you. Thanks for watching this video lecture. If you really like this video lecture, then hit the like button. If you have any doubts regarding this video lecture, then you can write in the comment section given below. Subscribe this channel and its videos within your community, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you.